Hello children, welcome back to our next session. Children, in our previous session, we have learned how an angle is formed and what is a vertex and what are arms. See children, the common point C of the two rays is known as the vertex. The two rays, ray CA, ray CB, are known as the arms of the angle. And here what is formed? Here angle is formed between the two rays. When two rays meet at a common point, their angle is formed. And what is the symbol of angle? Yes, this is the symbol of angle. This is the symbol of angle. So, the angle in image can be written as angle ACP or angle P. Children, why we should write only angle ACB or angle BCA? Why we should not write angle CAB or angle CBA? The vertex should come always in the middle. The vertex should be written in the middle only. Is it clear, children? The vertex is always written in the middle. What is the vertex C? So, the vertex should be always written in the middle. What is the name of the angle? Angle ACB or angle BCA. And C is the vertex and angle ACB and angle BCA are the names of the given angle and angles. Ray CA and ray CB are arms of the angle. These are the parts of an angle and the name of the given angle. Now, how to measure this angle, children? Do you know how to measure this angle? There is a tool which is used to measure this angle. Shall we see? See, how to measure an angle. We measure an angle using a protractor. Using a protractor, we measure an angle. We usually measure angles using degrees. Degrees. How many degrees are there in a full circle? Yes, there are 360 degrees in a full circle. And degrees are denoted by the symbol this. Usually angles are measured with a tool called protractor, and in a full circle there are 360 degrees and this is the symbol of the degree. To find the degree measure of an angle, we use an instrument called protractor. A protractor measures angles in degrees. It has two scales. How many scales are there in a protractor, children? Two scales. One is outer scale and the other one is inner scale. Did you see this tool, children? Where do we find this? In our geometry box. We see this tool and the name of this tool is protractor and we see this in our geometry box. We use this protractor to measure the angles in degrees. And this has two scales. One is inner scale and the other one is outer scale. Both scales have 0 degrees to 180 degrees. The inner scale has 180 degrees, 0 to 180 degrees, and the outer scale also have. The inner scale have 0 to 180 degrees. The outer scale also have 0 to 180 degrees, but in opposite directions. See the direction of the inner scale and see the direction of the outer scale. They are in opposite directions. The different parts of a protractor you can see in the given images. Now, see the parts of a protractor, children. This is called the baseline. This is called the center point. This is the inner scale and this is the outer scale. They are in opposite directions. We measure the angle using this tool and this is called protractor. We see this tool in a geometry box. This is the center, this is the baseline, this is the inner scale, this is the outer scale. And these inner scale and outer scale are in opposite directions with 0 to 180 degrees. Now we will see how to measure an angle. In the image on the right, the green colored area represents an angle of measure 30 degrees. Let us measure the angle given. Yes. See this image. In the image on the right, the green colored area represents an angle of measure 30 degrees. Let us measure the angle given here. Yes. Stepwise we have to use the protractor to find the measure of an angle. Step 1. Place the protractor such that the center point coincide with the vertex of the angle. The baseline coincides with one of the ray. The baseline should coincide with one of the ray in this way. Step 2. Look at the 0 of the inner circle. This is the inner circle and this is the 0. Look at the 0 of the inner circle, which is in the direction of the ray. Step 3. Start reading from 0 as 10, 20, 30 and so on until you reach the reading where the other ray coincides with the line of the inner scale. This gives the measure of the angle. Now see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. Now tell me the angle, children. The angle is of how many degrees? Yes, 130 degrees. The angle is of 130 degrees. The angle shows the measure of 130 degrees. And you show the measure of the angle using an arc like this. You have to use an arc to show this angle. Is it clear, children? How to measure an angle using a protractor? There is a question for you children. You have to look deep and think. Can we use a ruler to measure angles? Why or why not? Can we use a ruler to measure angles? Why or why not? Ruler is used for displacement of points or objects. It is not for measuring of rotation. Ruler is used to measure only the displacement of points or objects. It is not used for measuring of rotation. And what do we use to measure the rotation, children? Protractor. Yes. So, what is the answer? Ruler is used for displacement of points or objects. It is not for measuring of rotation. Is it clear, children? So, we will not use ruler to measure the angles. We use only, yes, protractor. We have discussed about angles. Now we are going to discuss about types of angles. This door is in the shape of a rectangle. Draw rays to show the angles at the corners. One is done for you. Measure them using a protractor. What is their measure? The door is in the shape of rectangle. Draw rays to show the angles at the corners. You have to draw rays. In this way you have to draw rays. The corners. 4 corners are there. In the same way you have to draw rays. You have to measure them using a protractor. Use the protractor and find out how much the angle measures. It measures exactly 90 degrees. And it is called as right angle. It measures exactly 90 degrees and it is called as right angle. We will see how many types of angles are there and what are the names of that angles. And we will discuss in our next session how many types of angles are there and what are their names.